Dr. S. Chaterjee to give his opening remarks on the topic.
Good evening, everybody present in the hall. This is a wonderful session going on, but I would definitely like to take some threads from the earlier sessions. And I would like to touch three major components so far as the higher education is concerned. One is the knowledge, second is the skill, and third is the attitude. Probably earlier speakers have also talked about all these, but I would like to elaborate these three. Because higher education, many people think that the knowledge is the base, which I don't. If you put the word ask, A-S-K, horizontally, means puchna. If you put it vertically, I would say A stands for attitude, S stands for skill, and K stands for knowledge. Now the priority goes from bottom to top. That the highest priority is attitude. Probably many people don't understand or they knowingly ignore it, that attitude is to be built, is to be definitely built, and it is a final thing which decides somebody's future, somebody's thinking, somebody's analysis, somebody's critical analysis. And the second comes skill. Wonderful. Knowledge is the third parameter. Because why I take skill higher than knowledge? Many people think that in higher education skill doesn't have any slot. It's very wrong. Knowledge is the base, definitely. Relevant knowledge is required. Now tell me, when you go to a library, do you take all the books, all the journals, all the periodicals, everything available there? What do you pick up? It's a simple answer is, you pick up the relevant thing which is required by you. A student or a teacher or a researcher, he will only pick up that particular thing which is relevant to his field, to his requirement. So, whenever knowledge is being talked of, to my mind, it is the relevant knowledge. It is the basic. Because the foundation, if you go for the pyramid, if you go for the buildings, the base is knowledge. No doubt. There is no doubt about it. But, when you go little earlier, little above, it is the application of knowledge. Can you apply the knowledge? I would like to give an example here. Being an electrical engineer, suppose Ohm's law. Ohm's law is a law which has been studied by everybody. And if you ask someone that how do you explain Ohm's law, he has the definition that voltage is proportional to current, the physical conditions being same. But what is next? He can solve certain numerical problems. But can he, given a problem on a board, when there is something gone wrong, he knows Kirchhoff's law, he knows superposition theorem, etc., etc. That's all knowledge. But can he solve that particular problem when this application of all these laws, all these knowledge is required? So he is unable to apply that particular knowledge. So this application of knowledge and application of technology is the skill. If somebody can apply it, he may not be very good at knowledge, but he can solve the problems. Ultimately, any curriculum, any higher education, be it lower education, be it higher education, primary, secondary, whatever it is, he has to be a problem solver. If he or she can solve the problem of the society, because that is the world of work, the employability will improve. So he or she has to be a problem solver. Now I would like to again give another example. Suppose you call somebody by name, that he immediately responds, right? Suppose you ask somebody that you spell the table of 5 or 2 or 10 or something like that, immediately he spells it. But suppose you ask him to say the table of 139 or 1369, will he be able to replicate? Probably not. Suppose you ask him, okay, this is what you have done, can you apply it in a problem? The basic difference between a European student, I'm talking about a good student. Actually, the good student and a bad student, what is the difference? The difference is, a good student is he or she who forgets the things after the examination is over. Whereas the bad student will forget it before the examination is over. That is the only difference. Are you with me? So I call that man a better student, whereas this man is not a good student, but because this is the difference. Now, if skill is that important, why not it is being taken in the higher education? People think that skill is meant for lower. It is not a white collar job. It's a grey collar job. But to my mind, if a person has got the knowledge, the relevant knowledge, he has the skill, and on top of it, he has the attitude, he is the wise person, he is the problem solver. He may not be a Newton. Newton is not required. An Archimedes is not required. A person is required who can solve problems in the industry, in the world of work. Why industry? In the world of work, in the service sector. If he or she can deliver that, probably he has done his job. So it is a combination of attitude, skill and knowledge. Now why skill is so much required in higher education? Because it has to be amalgamated. Who are the role players here? The academia, the employers, the society, the government, all these are stakeholders. The students are called stakeholders. Now someone was saying in the earlier panel that many people, the students, they do not know what to do. And the parents have a tendency that you become an engineer, you become a medical doctor, you become a commerce man, all kinds of things. He may be having some interest in music, some interest in sports. Why is he being forced to do engineering or medical or whatever it is? On the other hand, the student doesn't know. So the student is not at all motivated. I would talk, since I come from a private university, I would give my scenario. In my universities, most of the students do not know what to do. And there are false promises. I'm very sorry to point it out here, but the government has got second class treatment towards the private industries, private universities. Why your rules are so solid, and the policies are not there? Why can't you change it? Why can't you? Things have started moving now better, as the last panelist, Dr. Postla, was saying it, but it is too far off. You have all kinds of problem in getting funds or rules even. That I am a trainer, I would train only that person who comes from a government organization. Why? Where is the bar? I tell you that the faculty are equally good in private universities. The students may not be. So the stuff what they are getting because of the business attitude, tum bhi aa jao, everybody will join. But it is not solving the problem. So there has to be certain policies, very good policies are to be adopted, and ultimately this will be converted, the knowledge or the skill will be converted into employability, and that will be finally converted into business.
Thanks a lot, sir.
So what I mean is, you are in an era where the amalgamation of skill, attitude and knowledge is very, very important. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, sir.